Hello everyone, welcome to the Needle Magic. Today we are making this cute little panda mug cozy. आज के ट्यूटोरियल में हम ये प्यारा सा panda mug cozy बनाएंगे. I hope you'll like it. So let's get started. So these are the things that we'll need: black and white color yarn, a crochet hook. I'll be using a 4mm crochet hook and medium weight yarn, tapestry needle, scissors, stitch marker, and googly eyes. So let's begin. Let's begin by making a slip knot first. सबसे पहले हम एक slip knot बनाएंगे. And now I'll be chaining according to the size of my mug. तो मैं अपने mug के size के हिसाब से अपनी foundation chain बनाऊंगी. I want my foundation chain to start from here and end here. So इतनी बड़ी मुझे अपनी foundation chain चाहिए. So you can increase or decrease the number of your foundation chain according to your mug size. तो जो भी आपके mug का size है उस हिसाब से आप अपनी फाउंडेशन चेन बढ़ा या घटा सकते हैं. सो अगर आपका मग छोटा है तो आप कम चेन्स बना सकते हैं, अगर आपका मग बड़ा है तो आप ज़्यादा चेन्स बना सकते हैं. आप फाउंडेशन चेन बनाने के बाद मग के ऊपर रख के उसको देख सकते हैं कि साइज़ ठीक है कि नहीं. सो वंस योर फाउंडेशन चेन इज़ रेडी, यू कैन जस्ट पुट इट ऑन योर मग एंड चेक वेदर यू नीड टू ऐड मोर चेन्स or it's fine, or you need to remove some chains. It's totally depending on the mug size. So now I'll make some more chains and I'll show you how you can measure your foundation chain. And I'm not counting, I'm just randomly making chains because it completely depends on the mug size. So here is my mug, and here if I wrap my foundation chain, it's exactly the size that I want. It's starting from this handle and ending from the other side of the handle, yeah, like this. So this is what we want. You can check on your mug and you can increase or decrease the number of your foundation chain. Now after making the foundation chain, we'll go into the third chain from the hook and we'll start making half double crochet stitches. तो मैं third chain में जाऊंगी और half double crochet stitches बनाऊंगी. Yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops on your needle. Yarn over, pull through all the 3, and this is the first stitch of my row. So I'll be adding a stitch marker here. 1 half double crochet stitch into the next chain, 1 half double crochet stitch into the next chain, 1 half double crochet stitch into the next, 1 half double crochet stitch into the next, and so on until you reach the end of your foundation chain. तो हमें सिर्फ एक एक half double crochet stitch हर एक stitch में करते जाना है. So just keep doing 1 half double crochet stitch in each of these following chains that we have. So I'll complete row number 1 by doing 1 half double crochet stitch in each of the following chains that I have, and I'll meet you back here to show you what to do next. You can complete your row by doing 1 half double crochet stitch in each of the following chains. तो इस तरीके से आपने कंप्लीट करना है. मैं इस रो को कंप्लीट करके फिर आपको बताती हूँ आगे क्या करना. I have completed row number 1 by doing 1 half double crochet stitch in each of the following chains that I had. And now let's start with row number 2, and this is the row that you have to keep repeating until you get your desired size, desired length. तो ये row number 2 जो अभी मैं आपको दिखा रही हूँ, इसी को आपने रिपीट करते जाना है जब तक कि आप desired लेंथ आपका नहीं बन जाता. So chain 2, turn your work, and 1 half double crochet stitch in each of the following stitches. तो हमें एक एक half double crochet stitch हर एक stitch में करते जाना है. Yarn over, go into the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the loops that are on your needle, and this is the first stitch of this row. So I'll be adding my stitch marker here. It's very convenient when you add your stitch marker to the first stitch of your row, so that when you end the row you know that that is the last stitch. Now see, this was the first stitch of row number 1. I added a stitch marker there, and now this is the second row, and first stitch I'm adding the stitch marker. So when I complete my row number 2, I know that this is the last stitch, so I'll not be ending up doing more stitches, or I'll not miss any stitch. So it's very important to add the stitch marker there. So just keep doing 1 half double crochet stitch in each of the following stitches that you have, and this is the row that you have to keep on repeating until you get your desired length. तो आपको जितना बड़ा चाहिए उस हिसाब से जब तक नहीं बनता आपने यही वाली रो बार बार रिपीट करनी है. इसी रो का पैटर्न आपने बार बार रिपीट करना है. So we'll repeat this pattern until we get our desired length, and then I'll show you what to do next. So let me complete this row and then I'll tell you what to do next. You just have to do one half double crochet stitch in each of these following stitches. तो इस तरीके से हर एक स्टिच में आपने बस एक एक हाफ डबल क्रोशे स्टिच करते जाना है. So here I've almost completed my row number 2. मैंने row number 2 almost complete कर लिया. Here I am on my last stitch, so I'll remove the stitch marker and I'll make a half double crochet stitch into the last stitch and complete row number 2. So row number 2 हमारा complete हो गया. Now I'll keep repeating row number 2 until I get the desired size that I want. So I'll chain 2, turn my work, 1 double crochet stitch in each of the following stitches. Yarn over, go into the first stitch, yarn over, pull up a loop. You'll have 3 loops, yarn over, pull through all the 3. And this is the first stitch of this row, so I'll be adding my stitch marker back. And I'll continue doing 1 half double crochet stitch in each of the following stitches. So I'll complete couple of rows by following the same pattern and then meet you back here once I get the desired size of my mug cozy. तो एक बार मेरे को मेरा साइज़ जितना चाहिए उतना हो जाए, मैं उतनी रोज़ कंप्लीट करके फिर आपको यहाँ बताऊँगी कि आगे हमने क्या करना है. So you have to just keep repeating row number 2 until you get your desired length, and then I'll show you what to do next. So I'll meet you back here after completing couple of rows. So now I have a total of 6 rows of half double crochet stitches. मैंने total 6 rows किए हैं, 1 2 3 4 5 6, and this is perfect for my mug. ये मेरे mug के लिए एकदम perfect है. You can see this is how it is, and this is what I want. I don't want it to cover the mug completely because we need to make the ears, and if we cover the mug completely with the white color, then when we make the ears it will stand out like this, so it will be above the mug. We don't want that. We want the ears to be till the mug. तो इसलिए हम पूरा ऊपर तक इसे कवर नहीं करेंगे. यू कैन इंक्रीज और डिक्रीज द नंबर ऑफ द रोज अकॉर्डिंग टू योर मग, बट मेक श्योर दैट यू आर लीविंग लिटिल बिट ऑफ स्पेस ऑन टॉप फॉर द ईयर्स. तो थोड़ी सी स्पेस ऊपर हमने छोड़नी है. सो नाउ once this is done, we need to make the strap now. तो इसके लिए हमें स्ट्रैप बनाना है. So even the strap is totally depending on the mug size that you have. So I'll be chaining, I've already chained one, I think. No, okay. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10, and I need to check whether the size is perfect. Okay, I'll make one more chain. Okay, and now I'll go on to the bottom. So this is the side. We finished our row and we have chained 11. I have chained 11. You can increase or decrease according to your mug size, according to the handle of your mug. And then this is the bottom. I'll be doing slip stitches here. The bottom में मैं slip stitches करूँगी. So we'll go at the corner. We'll go in and we'll slip stitch here. तो corner में हम slip stitch कर देंगे. And here one of the strap is done. We need to slip stitch all over till we reach the other corner, and then we'll make the same number of chains that we have made here, and then we'll slip stitch and we'll fasten off. तो जो एक साइड पे आपने स्ट्रैप में चेन्स डाली है उसी सेम नंबर की चेन्स आपने अगले तरफ भी डालनी है. Now I'll just go in. This is the foundation chain. We'll just go in and we'll make slip stitches. तो यहाँ पे नीचे की तरफ हम slip stitches बना रहे हैं. So just go in and slip stitch. Go in the next stitch and slip stitch. So we just have to do this until we reach the other end of our mug cozy. तो दूसरे एंड पे नहीं पहुँचेंगे जब तक. ऐसे हमने slip stitch करते जाना है. So I'll keep doing slip stitch, and once I reach the other end, then I'll meet you back here and show you what to do next. I've almost completed by doing slip stitches. मैंने almost complete कर दिया है, and this is the last stitch that is left. Last stitch है, so I'll slip stitch here, and then I'll chain 11 because I have chained 11 on the other side. so it should be the same number of chains. So I'll chain 11, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 and 11, and now I'll slip stitch to the stitch on the top. तो ये जो टॉप में स्टिच है इसे मैं स्लिप स्टिच कर दूँगी यहाँ पे. So I'll just go in and slip stitch here and chain 1 and fasten off. chain 1 करके fasten off कर लेंगे, and then you can use a tapestry needle and weave in these yarn tails. तो ये जो yarn tails है इसे हम weave in कर सकते हैं tapestry needle की मदद से. So you can just take a tapestry needle and we'll just go in couple of stitches and make sure that it's secured enough, and then we can weave in. And just pull it through and cut the extra yarn. And then we'll do the same thing with the other yarn tail. So I've weaved in the end, और मैंने yarn tail weave in कर दी है, and this is how it's looking so far. And once you put it on your mark, this is how it will be. So we'll put one strap and then we'll rotate it and put the other strap, and this is how we have our mug cozy. And now we need to add the eyes and ears. So we'll just pull it down because we need to add the eyes and the ears. So this is how it is. So let's make the eyes and the ears. So अब हम eyes और ears बनाएंगे. So to make the eyes I'm using black color yarn black color की मैं use कर रही हूँ eyes के लिए. So we need to make a magic circle first for the eyes. तो eyes के लिए हम magic circle बनाएंगे. Chain 2 chains बनाएंगे, and we need to make 10 double crochet stitches in the magic circle. तो हमें magic circle में 10 double crochet stitches बनाने हैं. Yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, pull through 2. So I'll add my stitch marker here to this stitch. We need a total of 10 double crochet stitches. So we have made 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 and 10. तो 10 double crochet stitches हमने बना लिए. Now I'll pull the yarn tail and close the magic circle, and I'll remove the stitch marker and slip stitch to the first stitch and join. तो जो पहली stitch थी उस पर slip stitch करके इसे हम join कर लेंगे. Now chain 1 and fasten off, leaving a long tail which will be used to sew it on the mug cozy. तो ये long tail छोड़नी है आपने ताकि आप उसी yarn tail को यूज़ कर सकते हो mug cozy पे eyes को stitch करने के लिए. So this is the long tail that I have, and this is the yarn tail which we need to weave in. तो ये वाली जो yarn tail है ये हमें weave in करनी है, और ये वाली yarn tail से हम इसे stitch करेंगे. So what I'll do is I'll just bring the bigger yarn tail at the back, and I'll make couple of knots using both the yarn tails. तो दोनों yarn tails को यूज़ करके मैं एक दो knots बनाऊंगी, and the smaller yarn tail I'll cut it off, and the bigger one I'll use it to sew it on the mug cozy. तो जो छोटी वाली yarn tail है उसको हम कट कर देंगे, और जो बड़ी वाली yarn tail है उसकी मदद से हम इसे stitch कर देंगे. And this is a small yarn tail. I'll just cut the small yarn tail, and I have this bigger yarn tail to sew it on the mug cozy. Just pull the piece that you have so that we have this oval kind of shape that we need for the eyes. So just pull it like this and you'll get this shape, and you need to make 2 of these. So repeat the same pattern. Using the same pattern you have to make 2 eyes like this. So after making the eyes, now we will sew it on the mug cozy. तो हम mug cozy पे इसे लगा देंगे, stitch कर देंगे. So let's do that now. Before sewing on the eyes, I'll put the mug cozy on the mug and accordingly I'll place my eyes. तो पहले हम मग कोजी को मग पे लगा देंगे और उसके बाद हम प्लेस करेंगे अपनी आइज़ जहाँ पे हमें अपनी आइज़, जहाँ पे अपनी ये मग कोजी की आइज़, पांडा की आइज़ हमें चाहिए, वहाँ पे हम फिर प्लेस करेंगे. तो पहले हम मग कोजी मग पे लगा देंगे. सो हियर वी हैव आवर मग कोजी and now we need to see where we need our eyes. So we need our eyes on this portion. ये वाले portion पे हमें चाहिए. So I want it to be on this side so that when the mug is used you can see the panda on the other side. तो दूसरी साइड पे मुझे चाहिए ये eyes. आप अपने हिसाब से लगा सकते हैं. So wherever you want your eyes to be placed you can add it there. So I will place it here. I'll put it this way so that it's easier for you to see. One eye here like this and the other eye here. You can even use glue gun and glue them on if you want. If you don't want to sew them you can even use glue gun and glue them on. So इधर इस तरीके से हम अपनी eyes को लगाएंगे. So I'll add both the eyes using the stitch marker first so that they are held in place. तो मैं यहाँ पे stitch marker से इसको place में रख रही हूँ. And I'll take my other stitch marker and I'll place it here. Now this is done. Now we can remove our mug cozy and sew both the eyes together. So here we want our eyes like this. So I'll take a tapestry needle and I'll attach both the eyes. तो आप ग्लू गन से भी इसे चिपका सकते हैं. अगर आपको चाहिए तो आप ग्लू गन भी यूज़ कर सकते हैं. सो आई जस्ट गो इन एंड कम आउट. देन अगेन आई गो इन एंड कम आउट. विल डू दिस कपल ऑफ टाइम्स. इस तरीके से हम इसे स्टिच कर देंगे आइज़ को. Then we'll go in again and come out like this. Now I'll remove the stitch marker then go in and come out. Go in and come out. And I think it's secured enough now. So I'll not make a knot here. From the bottom I'll go through the stitches and I'll attach the other eye. तो जो दूसरी आई है मैं इसको भी इसे सिल दूंगी ऐसे. Let me just stitch a bit and then I'll remove the stitch marker. तो एक बार थोड़े सा इसको स्टिच करने के बाद हम अपने स्टिच मार्कर को निकाल सकते हैं. Because the stitch marker holds the eye in place and it doesn't move. So once it's stitched little bit then you can remove the stitch marker. I'll just go in and then we can just stitch like this. If you like the video, do subscribe to my channel. And if you have any doubts or any questions, you can always ask in the comment box. I'll be happy to answer your queries. If you're having any doubt in the pattern, you can always ask in the comment box. I'll surely reply. So ये देखिए अब हमने stitch marker निकाल दिया. Now I have removed the stitch marker and I'll stitch the rest of the eye. And once our eye is sewn, then we can start making our ears. तो एक बार हमारी eyes बन जाएंगी, stitch हो जाएंगी, उसके बाद हम अपने ears, पांडा की ears बना सकते हैं. So this is done. Eyes are done. Now I'm just going in, coming from the back, making couple of knots here at the back. तो एक दो knots यहाँ पे बनाएंगे ताकि ये secured हो और खुले नहीं. I think one more knot will be fine. एक और knot बनाएंगे इसी तरीके से. And now I'll just go in couple of stitches and cut the extra yarn from here. तो जो extra yarn है इसे हम cut कर देंगे. Now eyes are done and we need to make the ears. So even for the ears we need to put it on the mug first, and then we need to see where we want our ears to be placed, and then we can start crocheting. So I'll put the mug cozy on the mug. And this is how it is so far. It's looking nice. Now we need to place our ears. So we want one ear to be here and one ear to be here. So what I'll do is I'll add my stitch marker here first to one of the stitches, and the other ear will be here. So I'll add my stitch marker to this stitch. So these are the places where we want our ears to be, like this. So now I'll remove it, and now let's make the ears. अब हम ears बनाएंगे. Now we want our ears to be placed here, so we'll add our yarn one stitch before the stitch marker. तो यहाँ हमारा stitch marker है, तो उससे पिछले वाले stitch पे हम अपनी yarn add करेंगे. So we'll make a slip knot first. सबसे पहले slip knot बनाएंगे, and we'll attach our yarn to the stitch before the stitch marker. So ये जो पिछली वाली stitch है, यहाँ पे हम अपना ये वाली जो yarn है इसे attach करेंगे. And chain one, remove the stitch marker, and in the stitch where we added our stitch marker we'll place 10 half double crochet stitches. तो यहाँ पे हम 10 half double crochet stitches place करेंगे. Yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the three, yarn over, go in, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through all the three. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Now we'll slip stitch into the next stitch that we have, and we'll chain one and fasten off. तो next वाली stitch पे slip stitch करके हम chain one करके fasten off कर देंगे. And here the ear is done. तो ये ear हमारा यहाँ पे बन गया. Now I'm just going to take the yarn tails and tie a couple of knots and cut the extra yarn from here. You can even weave in using a tapestry needle. तो आप tapestry needle की मदद से भी इसे weave in कर सकते हैं, but मैं सिर्फ 2-3 knots tightly बना के extra जो yarn होगी उसे cut कर दूँगी. I think it's secured now, so I'll just take the scissors and cut the extra yarn from here. And this is done. So this is how it is. One ear is ready. And now let's start with the other ear. We'll make a slip knot and add our yarn to the stitch before the stitch marker. So the stitch where we have the stitch marker, just before that we'll add our yarn here. तो यहाँ पे हम अपनी add कर लेंगे yarn को and chain one. Now we have to make 10 half double crochet stitches in the stitch where we added our stitch marker. तो जहाँ पे हमने stitch marker लगाया था वहाँ पे 10 half double crochet stitches बनाएंगे. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. Now we'll slip stitch to the next stitch. Next stitch पे slip stitch करेंगे and chain 1 and fasten off. chain 1 करके fasten off कर देंगे. Now like we did earlier, we can just weave in using a tapestry needle or you can tie a couple of knots. तो मैं एक दो knots बना रही हूँ जैसे मैंने पहले किया था. I'll just make 2 to 3 knots tightly and then cut the extra yarn from here. And here you can see the ears are also done. तो हमारे ears पांडा के ears भी बन के ready हो गया. Now we need to make tiny detail of the nose. अब हमें nose के tiny detail बनाने हैं. So to do that, I have taken a tapestry needle and black yarn and I have tied a knot at the bottom. तो मैंने tapestry needle और yarn ले ली है. Now we'll come from the back in the center of the eyes and then we'll go from the front to the back like this, so that we have this kind of a line. We'll do that one more time. एक और बार करेंगे. We'll come from the same space, same spot where we came earlier and we'll go in at the same spot from where we went in. So we have this kind of a line. Now we need to make the tiny little smile here. So for that I'll be coming out from the back to the front like this, and then I'll be going in the spot where this line is going and I'll be coming out from top like this. So now I'll just go in the same spot where we went in first, and this is done. This is how I wanted it to be. You can have a look. This is what I wanted, tiny little smile. And now at the back side of my work I'll just make a couple of knots here and secure the work. पीछे की तरफ से जो wrong side है वहाँ पे मैं एक दो knots बनाऊंगी और इसे secure कर दूंगी. And make sure that when you're making the knot, you're not pulling the work that you have done at the front, because if you make it too tight, this will stretch और ये आपका खराब हो जाएगा. So you have to make sure that you're holding the work with your one hand and then you're pulling the knot. And now I'll just cut the extra piece of yarn from here and we are done. You can leave it as it is, or what I like to do is to add these kind of googly eyes. They really enhance the work. So this is how it is. You can use little bit of glue and you can just attach these eyes, and some of the eyes come with the sticky part at the back. You can even use that, or you can just add little bit of glue and attach the eyes, just attach the eyes like this. And this is how it is. I hope you liked the tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. Keep crocheting, stay safe, be happy. Bye bye.